Hello friends, welcome to another session of USA Weekly Market Report. Now I want to start with the session with a very, I would say, good news, and this is a press release by WSJ or the Wall Street Journal, and what they're talking about is about the stocks and the broadening of the stocks, which means there are large number of stocks or the stocks from different sectors are in as well as from different industries are participating in the market, which is an encouraging sign, or let me tell you, which we can call at as a broadening of a bull market or sign of a bull market. So the whole press release is about this news, that how different stocks are participating, and it's been quite prevalent on the big indices. If you're talking about S&P, if you're talking about Dow Jones, whether you're talking about nasdaq, so most of them or all of them are trading at their lifetime highs or near to the lifetime highs. So it's very encouraging to see how they are performing and how they are going to perform. Now, having said that, let's talk business, or let's go to the chart where we are discussing, or we are going to discuss about the trends, or simply the trends going forward. So the first chart which we are going to look at is of Dow Jones. Now, I have been very bullish on the Dow Jones if you have seen my previous videos on it. So, in the past couple of months, the Dow Jones performed quite, in a very strong way, not quite, but a very strong way. And this shows that how industrials or the old economy stocks are performing as far as the US uh, economy is concerned. Now, for the time being, if I draw a trend line like this in the Dow Jones, now what you can see here, okay, so this is what you have as your trend line. Now, what you can see on the price chart of Dow Jones is a support of 33,939, and your first target will be in between 34,700 and 34,999 or 35,000. Also, if it crosses this line, this may go up to a high or made a high which will be in between 35,600 and 36,000. So, as far as the Dow Jones index is concerned, it is very well poised to go on the upside, and the current trend is very strong. Now, the big chart is showing a very good as well as healthy sign if you are talking about the long term trend. So, this is about the chart of S&P 500, and we have the data since 1970, so we have quite a long data in front of you. And if you draw a trend line like this, what you can see here, let me show it to you. And it doesn't matter what anybody is saying in the market, but what is quite prevalent if you're looking at this trend, or quite evident on the trend, is how it is moving and where it is moving. So the big trend or the price action which you may see will lead the price of S&P 500 in between 6,320 and 7,600, somewhere in between these two lines. So it is quite obvious that in the upcoming months and years it could made a high of 7,000 before we can expect a big or a crisis like situation in the stock market. Okay, and the instrument or the financial instrument which are leading or which are indicating that these kind of things are probably going to happen. So this is obviously in the short term, but in the long term, as you can see, uh, there is a double bottom kind of situation. So this is the chart of dollar index, and in dollar index, if you are looking at the price chart of dollar index, what you can see here is this one. So this is the lower end of the range, and this is the higher end of the range, and it's been consolidating. Now on the upside, it made a high of 103.29, and it is again moving towards the low of 88.35, but the big low or big support for the time being will be at or near to this level, which is 86.9. This is nothing but the 200 moving average. But the way the stock market has prepared, it is definitely moving much lower. If the stock market has to go higher, obviously the US dollar index need to go much lower on the downside. So this will probably be the beginning of it, and it has already started. Let's see. For the time being, it's been moving into a range. On the downside you have 88.35, and on the upside you have 103.29. But if you're looking at this particular index on a longer term time frame, you will see the trend is quite negative. And if you think the stock market should go higher, you should presume the same, that the dollar index need to keep itself quiet on the downside. And other things are also working uh, for the stock market, because on the this is the monthly chart, and this is the first red candle that you can see on the price chart of a 10-year bond yield for US Treasury. So after a span of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 months of a rally on the upside, or green candles on the upside, this is the first candle which is showing a downside. Now whether it will sustain or not, or how long or how high or how low it will go on the upside, that we will discuss later. But obviously this uh, market take this thing in a very good way, I would say, because if you're looking at the short term trend, let me show it to you. Then what you can see here is a consolidation. Okay, is a consolidation, and the previous trend has broken on the downside. Okay, so if you check my previous videos, I have said that the trend for 10 years US Treasury is in consolidation, and last week it breaks down, and it went down to a low of 1.53, and again it is trying to move back to retest the resistance level, which was your previous support level. So here 1.59. So previously 1.59 was a support level, but because it breaks down, so it will again become your resistance level, unless the bond yield moved back above 1.59. It will still work as a resistance level, and technically if it doesn't cross 1.59, then we have lower levels in the coming days and weeks. Now there is one more thing that I would like you to know, and with the example of Tesla, and why I'm choosing this example is because the nasdaq index. Okay, now the nasdaq index, the stocks are not performing, and if you see the stocks which has performed uh, from September October 2020 till January or March 2000 sorry Feb or January 2021, they are in a huge slam dunk, and most of them are from nasdaq, whether you are talking about tech companies, biotech companies, pharma companies, or electric vehicle companies, or battery manufacturer, whomsoever. They have corrected, they went up very sharply, they came down very sharply, and probably the indication is, once the nasdaq indices crosses its previous high, which is around 14,200, you will probably see the stocks, and more specifically Tesla. It is one of the bellwether stocks and one of the most traded stocks across the market. So this will again start performing on the upside. Okay, now if you can see the trend, the way the trend is moving, the trend although have some volatility right now, but it is moving quite well, and the trend is completely up. So you can definitely find the way the stock is moving right now, and the levels for the time being that you need to look at, you have your first support as $734, and if it falls below that, the volatility may take this stock towards 630 or 640. But if it holds the way it is right now, then we will have our first target at 820, and once it crosses 820 or 830, you have two big targets, which are the previous high that this stock has made, and probably push the stocks towards $900. And in one of my previous videos which I have made couple of weeks or months back, I have said that it could probably be a four digit stock, and I still stuck with or stick with that view, that even though whatever market is saying and however the volatile the stock is, you will get something or other thing on the way, and those some things and other things are good one. Okay, so you will see that stocks will again start to move up. And for the time being, if you look at the trend, so this is the hourly chart for Tesla, and as you can see here, after a big correction, all the moving averages are colliding, and they are now trading at or below the price, which is saying that the price has now overcome all the moving averages and most important support levels, and it is now ready to move back on the upside. And as I told you, I have taken the example of Tesla, but it is not about this specific stock, but this is about a basket of stocks or hundred of stocks that has been trading under nasdaq. And that's why once the nasdaq started moving above 14,200, there will be an even broader rally in the market of US that is yet to be seen. So this is the end of the video. If you like this content, do share your thoughts in the comment section and subscribe my channel. Lastly, take care of your family and friends.